everybody, welcome back to the final episode of the Small Business Employer Spotlight series of Unfiltered HR, and ending it with Jon Corto of Strive Vending on the Buffalo Bills playoff victory Monday.
Yeah, what a great game.
And John's a former Buffalo Bill and now business owner, employer.
Yeah.
What's harder? What was harder?
Well,
Been harder so
I would say starting my own business was harder than playing in the NFL, to be honest with you. A lot of 100-hour work weeks and a lot of working without pay for the first, few years in starting a business. So people don't realize how big of a struggle that is. But definitely it was always my goal to play in the NFL and then parlay that into starting my own company.
Yeah, awesome. So tell us about Strive.
Okay.
What does Strive Vending do? Maybe you guys have seen it around different businesses.
So essentially, Strive, we transform your break room. So from bringing in custom millwork to bringing in snacks, drinks, fresh food made out of our local commissary, we bring it all so that you don't have to worry about any food and beverage needs. We even do coffee, water filtration. So anything you need for food and beverage for your company, we can take care of.
Mm-hmm. And you're located down here. We're in Hamburg.
This is actually Orchard Park. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
California. Close to the stadium.
You got it. Didn't want to leave far from home, right?
Yeah. And when did you start the business?
So I started after I was done playing. I stopped playing in 2010-11 season and then got right into this. And so I went from playing on the field to, filling vending machines. So it was quite the humbling experience, but, I did everything from filling the machines to packing, stocking, selling, everything that you do when you start your own business.
Mm-hmm.
But it gives me a really good appreciation of what all my employees go through on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah,
so I really kind of empathize with them and what they go through. Hey, it's below 30, out there. The wind's hitting them. So I really live that. So I really appreciate everything they do every day to make our customers satisfied.
Yeah. I also want to point out Jon founded and runs the business with his wife, Jen.
Yes.
Who is a powerhouse in her own right.
Yeah. So
she's also done all the jobs, right? Here, pretty much.
She has, and she's done one that I haven't, the accounting part. So very thankful to have a CPA on our squad, and she's been great to be taking care of that part of the business where I can go be the schlep and move product around and go sell.
It's amazing how many things you realize have to get done not until after you
are
knee deep in it, and it's like too late to go back.
Yeah.
So all right. So I started with you and Jen, employees 1 and 2. How many people do you guys employ now?
So I don't have an exact number, but I think it's around 75 people and growing. We're constantly hiring. I think we've got a good culture here, and thanks to Ally and what you guys have brought to the table and in compliance and whatnot, it's been a huge game changer for us.
Yeah, it's been a fun transition, formalizing some
Yeah.
of that stuff, but good, healthy. And you guys are really interesting because you employ all sorts of positions. So really, it's similar to like a manufacturing operation with a warehouse and food packing and things, and then drivers is a whole other element, and the customer service element to it, which is on site at the.
Yeah, there's a lot of different businesses within a business, right?
Yeah.
You have coffee service, you have water service, you have micro markets, you have vending, you have wholesale food. So all those things combined are almost like their own separate businesses. And then even from an accounting standpoint, each one of our markets is almost like its own business. And so there's a lot of accounting work, there's a lot of logistics, and there's a lot that goes into running a vending company. I think, one of the myths out there is that, hey, just throw a vending machine somewhere and then you're just going to collect money and it's just a cash cow and that's all it is. There's a lot that goes into that.
Yeah, a lot of checks and balances. We've had some fun stories already.
Yeah.
That I worked with you. All right, so you've been through, before we narrow it down into more specific questions, you've been doing this for quite a while now. You've had many different employees, a lot of experiences. If you could sum up your experience as an employer in one word, or maybe a couple words.
Yeah, I would say either perseverance or hard work, one of the two. I think, you stay around in the game long enough, some good things happen and you
Hmm.
get some breaks. I think one of the biggest things that we've done as of lately is just hire top talent, and it allows you then to work on your business a little bit more, right?
Yeah.
When you can trust people, and managers below you to help do the day to day, you can really start to get ahead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been trying to be a lot more purposeful about who we bring in,
Yep.
even at the lowest level positions or least skilled positions. It makes a huge difference in the lives of your managers too, who we've been working with a lot to teach and coach and how to kind of manage some of the residual, maybe bad performance, bad behavior of people. And that's always like a tough thing to learn initially too.
Yeah, 100%. And our drivers are really the face of our company. They don't see me necessarily every day. They see our driver and they reflect our company. So it's really important to have those people that are there every day, really standing tall for your company.
Yeah. So what do you think like is the most significant lesson you've learned? Again, there's a lot of lessons to learn about running a business, but just from this is focused on being an employer and that part of it, something that stands out. Maybe it's, something that scarred you. That's why it's most significant or humbling. Um,
Yeah.
like if you could pass on advice, any advice to
Yeah, I
someone.
would say just kind of what we just touched on there is that, hire well and get managers that are top performing, people that can really help you run your day-to-day operation.
Hmm.
I think when you're a small business, it's kind of hard to make that leap of faith because sometimes those people cost you more money.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, can we do that or can we not? And really, once you do that and you make that leap of faith, you can then add a lot more value to your company. You can go out and sell. You can do other things that can drive revenue because you're not just doing the day to day every day. So I
Yeah.
feel like it helps you grow a
Yeah.
lot better and faster when you can make those
Like
decisions.
you're talking about trusting and delegating to,
Yeah, but I think too, like,
decision making ability to these managers, right?
yeah, it's that, but then also pulling the trigger. Like, hey, this person's gonna maybe a six-figure person that I have to bring on.
Yeah.
For a small business, that's a difficult
Yeah.
trigger to pull sometimes. And you're like, can we do it? Can we not? And I would say that it's worth its weight in gold.
Yeah, if you hire the right person, yeah, and
Yes,
like the
yes,
ROI for like what you can do, yeah, you're like multiplying yourself
100%.
essentially. Yeah. What so for you it's more about like the risk and the stress of taking on that cost, not knowing you can carry it, and not the, ego attachment or like trusting that someone's going to do the job the way that you would do it.
Well, I
I've
certainly
seen it both ways, mostly, the latter.
certainly I think it's hard to let go. Like,
Yeah,
right, I've
yeah.
done, every position here, so I know a lot about it. And it is hard to let go and maybe let people make mistakes, that you might know that they're going to make.
Hmm.
And that is not easy. But I certainly, have made my fair amounts of
Yeah,
mistakes,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
everyone makes mistakes. I think it's just about, growing continually.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Those are I think it's like a lot of, I think running a business is like that in general. Like that was one of the things that I learned too. It's, you think there's a group of people out there that know what they're doing and you think, well, I don't really know how to do that, so I can't do it. And then the dirty secret is I don't think anyone really knows what they're doing. They're just all figuring it out as they go.
Fake it till you make it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, that's
Yeah.
really everybody. And I don't know, that's been like a horrifying but comforting lesson to learn, I guess, in some ways, because you're not different than anybody else. But um, yeah, the fact that really no one knows what they're doing until they do it might be a little concerning.
Yeah, as long as you're learning from your
Yeah,
mistakes,
exactly.
I think sometimes people, I've always been pretty quick to action, and sometimes, that can hurt you a little bit, but I think I can fail 4 or 5 times
Hmm.
and then get it right before someone even pulls the trigger and makes a decision on anything. And I think there's something to be said for speed
Yeah,
in business
yeah,
and being able to make quick decisions and
yeah,
go with your gut intuition.
yeah. Try things out and then move on.
Yep.
Yeah. So what is something that you think you've done as an employer that has had the biggest impact on your business? So obviously, again, I think this is something that's super under appreciated and taken for granted. You can have the best product, the best systems, the best services, but if you don't have people in place who are using them, following them, executing them, it really doesn't matter, right? So is there anything that you feel like you guys from the beginning have been doing as employers, or like, mission statements specific to being
Yeah.
employers that you think has really mattered and helping your business be successful through your people?
Yeah. So one of the things, like our mission statement is a relentless pursuit to serve others. And we keep kind of honing in on that because when we started the business and, I would get a call in the middle of the night, it'd be like 3 a.m. Hey, go fix this compressor. I would go out and do it. And it's that people don't care if there's a mistake or if a compressor goes down or a machine's not working. It's how you respond to it.
Hmm.
Right? And are you right there? Are you attentive? Are you showing them that you care?
Hmm.
So I think embodying that is super important, especially as we get bigger, because when we had 5, 10, 15, 20 employees maybe, and I was kind of pushing that down the line, now it's just so much more important to push that to the managers to really embody that as well, to push that down the line even
Hmm.
further.
Hmm.
And the more people you get, the harder that might be to push that message.
Hmm.
So I think it's important to have that mission statement. I always thought mission statement. I'm like, what the heck do you need a mission statement for?
Well, most people
Does
just put it
it?
on the wall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you know what? It's become more and more important as the company has gotten bigger. I think
Yeah, for
also
sure.
some of the things that we've done as of recently with your company, and you've been great, Emily, is the accountability factor and
Hmm.
making it fair across the board. You can't give someone a break over here just because you can empathize with their
Yeah.
situation. You can show empathy, but at the end of the day, you have to be fair across the board.
Yeah.
And being late, missing, and having attendance issues, you
Yeah.
got to kind of have to address those things straight on.
Yeah. No, the balance is important. I think that's come up with every single employer I've had on this little mini series here. It's
Yeah,
all about balance, and you never really achieve balance. It's constantly, the back and forth
sure.
of doing it. But I do have to say, like, I think your mission to relentlessly serve others. You guys definitely do that as an employer as well, like, and that's part of the balancing that we've had to do
Yeah.
a little bit. And I get to be the bad guy to come in and do it. But you guys definitely care genuinely about your team and your employees, and yes, to the point where maybe sometimes you're willing to,
Sure.
you're a little too relentless maybe
Yeah.
in serving things in their lives that maybe you're not designed to. But I do think that they see a commitment to them in that way from you, and so I'm sure that translates to them committing hopefully to your clients and customers and the quality of the food and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and certainly like with we try to be a customer centric company. So just like Apple started with, hey, what is the customer experience of using
Mm.
an iPhone? And everyone loves how easy it is to use. We try to make our market so that, hey, what can we do to improve on the end product so that
Mhm.
people can rely on the food that we're providing on a daily basis and have good quality food, and always trying to, like, hey, keep it fresh, have a rotating menu, try different things that and get feedback. We have QR codes on every one of our machines that people can contact us
Mm.
directly and say, hey, I really like this. I don't like this. Can you get more of this in our machines to kind of customize the experience?
Mhm.
So, really, it's all about them, and we rely on them. And we don't really care about, like, we obviously we're in business to make money, but at the end of the day, that'll all come
Yeah.
if you focus on the customer.
Do the right things.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. No, I totally agree. And again, that, yeah, permeates into every part of the business, including um, being a good employer and doing becoming a place to work that good employees would want to work, and you naturally will just find that you have and attract and retain good
Yeah.
employees. Yeah. Yeah.
100%.
All right, so I see this a lot, just again working across many different clients, but it's not really an employer friendly world out there right now. And I think the employer ends up being the bad guy a lot, maybe unfairly. So if you had to dispel or a myth about an employer that you've learned in your experience, or share something that you think you'd want people to know or understand about being on kind of this side of the fence.
Yeah, I think. Well, I think there's a lot of struggles. Like our job is never done. I never shut off. I'm
Yeah.
always up and I'm thinking about things. I'm thinking about them. I'm thinking about how I can provide um, for them, their families, sustain this business for 75 people. And
Yeah.
obviously, they're bringing home money to their families, and that's super important. So you do carry a lot of weight in regards to the
Yeah.
decisions that you're making on a day to day basis that affects all these people. And so you're constantly on. And so I like that, but I would say a lot of people probably wouldn't like that. A lot of
Yeah.
people like to shut off and go watch a Bills game or be present all the time. And
Yeah.
it's very difficult. Like I literally have to, when I go home, I have to like say, okay, I'm dad now.
Yeah.
I'm John. I'm a husband. I'm a father, and try to shut that off.
Yeah.
That's not always easy.
Yeah. No, thank you for saying
Yeah.
that. No one has really said that in these episodes, but I think that is the number one thing that I would want to put out there about employers is like, I think, employees think it's just easy. You get to work whenever you want. You don't have to work whenever you don't want. But the ugly truth is like, yes, okay, sure, you have more flexibility in your schedule, but you are never not working.
Yeah. Right.
And obviously it's like the financial pressure that comes with that for sustaining your own, income and that, for your own family. But yeah, the fact that, I mean, I doubt there's a business owner out there who employs people who doesn't feel day to day the pressure of like maintaining it for the sake of the lives that they support through the people that work
Yeah.
there. And it's a lot.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think most employees would want to trade that really in the end. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's rewarding. It
Yeah.
has its, yeah.
It's got its ups and downs, right? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I certainly, I knew this because my family was entrepreneurs.
Mm,
They ran day spas and salons. And so I grew up at the table. That's what I knew. A lot of
mm,
people seem to get into what they know.
mhm,
Um, some people are adventurous and get into other things, but a lot of people, like if their dad was a police officer, they might go in that
mhm.
direction. I only knew this way, and I always wanted to own my own business,
Yeah.
just
But
for fun.
how did you choose this specific business? Like, did you say people know what they know? Did you know vending or food?
No, I have no idea why. Well, it just kind of happened actually. I was involved with the NFL Play 60 initiative, which
Okay.
encourages kids to be active, play 60 minutes a day. I was doing a lot with the Bills in regards to that. And then it was just a natural progression. Like when I was done playing, I'm like, Jen, we should get into our own business and started looking up different concepts. Came across like this healthier vending type option. And I'm like, wow, that parlays very nicely into what I've been kind of doing with the
Mhm.
NFL. So that's how we got into it. And we first started looking at schools. Well, schools, kids are eating lunch at 10 a.m. Then they're there till like
So
three or
that's
four,
well, yeah.
and then the only thing they have is like a Snickers bar. So we were like, okay, let's bring some healthier options in there. And from schools led to businesses. And then as the industry evolved and it went more automated towards self checkout kiosks, that's when we put in these micro markets, started our own commissary. And it kind of goes back to the thing. It's like we're constantly evolving
Mhm.
and we're never just stagnant. Like, hey, this is the way we do business. No, because that's a business that's going to die. You
Yeah,
always
right.
got to be
Yeah.
adopting to the trends of today and listen to your customers. And this
Mhm.
is what people wanted. People don't want to buy fresh food out of a vending machine.
Yeah,
Especially a dusty old vending machine, the wheel
no.
of death. No one wants that
I
anymore,
don't think
right?
they trust what's in there
Yeah.
and how long it's been in there. Yeah. Yeah. That's great. Yeah, and you guys have blown up. I mean, it's crazy. Even just I think it's been has it been 2 years since we've been working together? Just in that time, I think your head count is I mean, at least 50% greater than
Yeah, it's significantly grown, and that's I think to the point of hiring some top people to kind of take the stress off, focusing on stuff that's going to move the needle as far as sales. That's really helped drive a lot of that success, and then our people doing a good job when they're out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. All right. So the final question is: I consider, and I know you got like one of the sweatshirts and stuff with the badge of honor
Oh
for
yeah.
being a small business employer. I mean, I consider you and all my clients to be superheroes. But if you were a real superhero in real life, what would your superpower be?
Well, I mean, I'd love to time travel. I
Okay.
mean, you can imagine like, being able to time travel and buy Bitcoin when it was,
Oh, yeah, okay, okay.
a
Smart.
dollar, right? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That would be pretty nice. So I'm gonna have to go with that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
you've been side by side with pretty close to real life superheroes in the NFL too. So no super speed or strength and go back and be on the field with Josh Allen today or something.
I'm good. I'm good. I've been
Yeah.
there, done that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Sean.
Yeah, thanks
Congrats
for
on the
having me.
business, and it's awesome. And it's been a pleasure having you as a client
It's
too, and
been a pleasure working with you.
you guys growing and employing more, and this whole community. It's great. So thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you.
All right. See you guys next time.